Well, greetings and salutations, test takers. This is the Series 7 Guru coming to you from my studio here in fabulous Las Vegas. I had promised to provide a practice question or two based on the settlement date being T+1. And so delivering on that promise, here is a sample question reflecting corporate immunities now settled T+1. On Monday, April 29th, the board of ABC declared a $1 per share dividend. That's called the declaration date set by the board. A declared dividend becomes a current liability. And so the working capital of ABC Corp is going to decrease on April 29th. It says the record date for the dividend is Wednesday, May 29th. So that means on May 29th, they're going to look at their shareholder list. And if you were on the shareholder list on Wednesday, May 29th, you're going to receive that dividend. Now, you should know that settlement is when ownership changes hands. And so it takes T+1 to show up on a shareholder list, right? Because that's what settlement is. T+1 is when settlement ownership changes hands. It's payable on June 19th. We don't care about that. The payable date is when they're going to cut the checks. And there's no effect on working capital there because they have less of an asset, cash, a direct offset on the liability side. So no effect on working capital. Throwing in a couple freebie questions for you, right? Test questions. What is most likely the ex-dividend date? So the ex-dividend date is the first date on which the stock no longer trades with the dividend attached. And under the Uniform Practice Code, that's not set by the board of directors. It's a function of secondary trading, right? Secondary trading. X is Latin with without. Now, when is the X date is a different question. If I buy the stock on May 28th, T+1, I would get the dividend because I'd be a shareholder as of record on Wednesday, May 29th. So Tuesday, be careful what you're being asked, is the last date on which I can buy the stock and still receive the dividend. If I buy the stock on Wednesday, T+1, I'm not going to be a shareholder as of a record on Wednesday. I'm going to be a shareholder as of record on Thursday. So Wednesday is the first date the stock no longer trades with a dividend attached. And the X date is now the same as the record date. They are both the same, right? Again, I buy it Tuesday, I get the dividend. Wednesday, I do not. There's other dates, by the way, besides Wednesday. This is the first date. There's others, Thursday, Friday, Monday. This first date on which the stock no longer trades with a dividend attached. So we would expect on Wednesday, the stock is going to drop or open up at $1 less, something around $1 less. Okay, so that's the first sample question I wanted to share with you. And the takeaway is the X date and the record date are now one and the same. So record date set by the board of directors, X date functionally Unform Practice Code. The X date is the first date on which it no longer trades with the dividend attached, and then now that's the same as the record. Let me give you another example on how this reflects in Reg T settlement. So here's our second example. Your customer purchases 200 shares of DEF Corporation on Monday, March 18th. Under Reg T, the trade must be completed by what date? Now, listen, this isn't my first rodeo. When I first came into the business, it was T+5. And Reg T has been around since 1934. Reg T has not changed. Customers still get 2 additional days to pay for their purchase. So as a margin clerk, I can't bother you until settlement +2, right? So how does that play out now in this example? So here is our trade date. Trade date is when we agree to terms. So the trade date is Monday, March 18th. Tuesday, T+1 is settlement. So regular way settlement of the Uniform Practice Code is between broker dealers. Customers get 2 additional days. They used to get 2 additional days, they still do. That has not been changed. So here it says under Reg T, that's 2 additional days. And so that'll be Thursday, March 21st. And so the answer to this is March 21st. C is the correct answer, right? Previously, on the previous one, I'll bring it back again and just review. The X date is the same as the record date. So hope you found that helpful. If you want, just put in a request and I'll maybe do a couple of these as it relates to options exercise and calculating accrued interest. By way of review, so again, by way of review, the answer to this now is the X date is the same as the record date, which the answer here is Wednesday, May 29th, or excuse me, Wednesday, May 29th is the X date, right? X date, record date, one the same. Remember, inch by inch, your series 7 is a cinch. Yard by yard, your series 7 is hard. And I'll see you for the next explication request, help, whatever you want to call it. Bye-bye.